Hey troops, Roxy here and welcome to Roxee Plays Games and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Before I get into today's video, I want to do my usual thank you. So thank you for everyone who has liked my previous videos and thank you for everyone who has subscribed to the channel. As always, it is really appreciated. Alright, we are back in Kerbal Space Program and we are going to... What is that? Oh, that is... I thought that little black thing then was a fly on my monitor. Derp. Yes, right, so we're back in the Kerbal Space Program and we're continuing with our career modded playthrough. So this is episode 2. You may notice I have some extra science compared to our last episode, and that is because what I did was we managed to do an orbit in the last episode, and that was low space. I did a high space orbit and gathered extra science and a little bit of extra cash as well. So let's jump into research and development. We've got 134 science to spend, and that sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's going to be enough to unlock one column of these, and this if we need that as well, which I'm not sure. And I've had a quick look at all of these, and I think the electrics is the next one I would like to get, because that's going to give me high gain antenna, it's going to give me probodobidime octo, it's going to give me solar panels, which is going to be really handy for when we're doing bits and pieces. A rechargeable battery bank, that's a bigger one compared to what we already have, so that's going to be really handy. I don't know what that is, don't know. Oh, lights, we have some lights, that would be really nice to have. So that's what I'm going to unlock now. That leaves me with 44, and it's not even enough to get that. So all of that science, and it was only enough to unlock one thing anyway. Okay, that's cool. Right, let's leave facility, and then the plan today is we're going to go to the moon, or we're going to try to go to the moon. So let's have a quick look in our tracking station. Oh, not been in here before. Cool. Right, so here we are down here, and what's this thing here? I don't know what that is, but it's there. So we have done a low orbit around Kerbin. We did that in the last episode. Between then and now, I've done a high altitude. It's exactly the same. I just got myself out a little bit higher, and obviously was in high space. We are now going to attempt to get to the moon. So this is going to be a little bit more tricky. So let's leave facility. Let's jump into our vehicle assembly bay. And let's get something done. Now I have done some testing, obviously just to save a little bit of time, and I've got some bits saved. So it is the Kerbin Orbiter Mark IV. All right, I've got some more bits to add to this, but this is the initial part of what we're going to have. And essentially what we've got is we've got a Terrier engine on the bottom with a FLT 400 fuel tank. Now I'm actually going to add to this because in my last test it was a little bit short on fuel, so if I make any errors then I won't have enough fuel to get back. So I am going to add another fuel tank to that. I've got 2 Science Juniors on here, so that's them. I've got a decoupler, and then we've got our service bay with all of our science bits and pieces in there. So let me plonk you back on there. Let me plonk you on there. I am going to go to electrical because now we've unlocked. Well, let me have a look at the weights of these. Oh, you know something? I'm actually going to jump in here, take these batteries out, because this one although it weighs twice as much, it has twice as much electrical charge. So that kind of makes sense. So we'll plonk you in there, and we can close you back up. I want to put a fuel tank on. Matter of fact, I'm doing all of this, and I think I've actually got the next part already done to say, yeah, Kerbal Orbiter Mark IV with boosters. So let me load this one up, and we'll do the changes from this, and I'll explain what we've got here. So I have put on a launch stability contraption here. It's not needed, but it kind of looks cool, and the Kerbins can get into there by going through that. We've got 4 thumper solid fuel boosters on the side, but what I do need to do is I need to take this off from there. We'll move this up a notch. So this is all the same. Actually, I do need to open you up and do what I was doing before with the battery. Or is the battery already in here? It's not, is it? No. So let's go to our electrical, put the battery in there, whack it at the top there. So we've got the battery in there. I know it's kind of clipping in together, but that's all fine. Let's close you back up. Right, I wanted to add an extra fuel tank. We'll just do the T200. I think that should be enough. So the way the staging is going to work, this is our main part here. So you got your capsule with the science bay or the service bay. That's what's going to be coming back down to Kerbin on, and we have got a re-entry shield there for protection. Decoupler, 2 science juniors will suck the information and put it into our I keep forgetting the name of it, the experiment storage unit. We put on an extra fuel tank, and then underneath this extra fuel tank is going to be the bigger fuel tank, the T400 with the Terrier engine, and then underneath the Terrier engine we've got another fuel tank with a swivel liquid fuel engine. And then, like I said, we've got the 4 thumpers left and right, and then we've got this scaffolding just for looks. And I've just realised that battery is not actually connected, because if I move this, it's still there. So let's get this battery actually connected in. That will be helpful. That's not connected in either. Where can I get this connected? Right, let me put you there. Let me zoom in a touch. So I do want to get this battery in, because it's definitely going to help. And let me plonk you there. I'm going to get this battery, and now I can click you down there. That's good. We like that. And now let's get you in there, and that's all connected. Awesome. Let me just double check, zoom out a bit, double check there's nothing loose. Yep, cool. Right, that's all sorted. So, capsule with our Kerbinite in, we've got our service bay with all of our science bits in, decoupler with heat shield, we've got 2 science juniors, we've got 2 fuel tanks with a Terrier. Then we've got a fuel tank with a swivel, and then Thor, 4 thumpers. We've got some winglets for stability and control, and then we have got this launch platform, which we'll stick about there, just for aesthetics, and that is all that is. Right, let's check our staging now. So we've got that with the 4 thumpers, Thor thumpers, That's a tongue twister. All together, we're then going to decouple them, and we're going to ignite our swivel at the same time. And then that will disconnect, and we will be firing our Terrier, and you need to be down there. Then we got that, then we got that. Perfect. Right, so we've got everything that we need. We are now going to save that, and then before we go to the Mun, let's go and check for missions. Right, let's jump in here. Mission control. Right, explore the Mun. We're definitely going to grab that because that's going to give us so much. Fly by the Mun. It's going to give us 96,000 plus 6 science. Gather scientific data. It's going to give us 57,600 plus 3 science. And then if we get back to Kerbal, we're going to get another 96,000 and 6 science. So that's going to give us a chunk of science, a big chunk of money. And we're going to get this as an advance as well. So that is just fantastic. So let's grab you. Right, let's see if we've got anything that we can do. Right, I'm going to be going too fast for that. I can tell you that much. Test. Hull thumper. Right, we're going to be taking a thumper. What's the criteria for this? 49 to 56 and 440 to 570. I don't know if we're going to be going that speed or not. Well, you know something? Let's grab it because it's going to give us some money and some science, a bit of an advance. We're going to get to that altitude. I don't know whether we'll be at that speed at that altitude. That is the main thing. So we'll grab it anyway. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Grab you. Leave facility. Jump back into here. Before I do anything, I'm going to do a... should have done this before I went back into the facility. Before I do anything, I'm going to do a quick save. We'll just do this. Start episode 2. So I am ready in case I need to redo this. Hopefully I don't need to redo this, but at least I've got it all saved if I do. We'll go to the vehicle assembly bay. And we will get ourselves ready to launch. Double check we've got everything all set. We've got our stability, we've got our engines, we've got our next engine, and then we've got our final engine. Final decoupler and our parachute to land. Who are we taking to space today? Now, what I wanted to point out, I want to point out a couple of things. When your pilot is level 0, the only thing that they can do is stability control. Once they're level 1, they then get the next level up, which is your prograde and retrograde controls, which we'll see when we launch. I can't remember if I actually mentioned it in the last episode or not, but that's the next lot that they will unlock. I want to focus on one pilot, getting them everything that they can, and then once I've got that, I will then work on the next one. Now, what I'm going to plan on doing in future episodes is when we're doing these missions, I'm not doing it in this one today because I want to unlock better stuff so that I've got more power. But what I would like to do is take a what they're called, I'm trying to remember. Not pay. Is it in here? No, it's not them. This, I might not have unlocked it yet, and that's probably why I can't see it, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't need... Do I need any... I shouldn't need that. No, I've got the battery. I'll be good for power for today. For today's episode, we'll be fine. Let's make sure I've got all of the science bits that I can collect. Science Studio, yep. I haven't unlocked anything new in there. Don't need that. Ah, here we go. It had to be the last one that I was looking in. Utility. Cabin crew. The cabin crew can carry 2 crew. So if I have this on as well as this, I mean, I know that's obviously going to make it bigger, but that's fine. Then I can take like an engineer and a scientist with me. They can do their bits of work and also level up at the same time. So that will be the plan. So what I'll do is I'll unlock or I'll work on Jebediah, get him leveled up a little bit, and then we'll start taking other people with him. So that is the plan going forwards. So I'll just double check I've done a save, and let's see if I don't cough myself to death, how we can get on with our first mission to the Mun. Right, so I do have this here, and this is actually really, really good, the Astrogator. However, I'm not going to use it in this episode, and the reason being is I want to show you, again, it's not a tutorial, but I just want to show you that, one, I know how to do it, but two, how you would do your maneuvers to get to other planets, other moons, etc. Without using these mods. These mods are fantastic, but that is the plan. Okie dokie. So, oh, right. Well, you probably wouldn't have noticed that, but I've been gone for a little while. I had a little thing to sort out, and well, the time's advanced a little bit, as you can clearly see. Right, what was I doing? Sorry, I got distracted and having to help somebody do something. Right, I think we're ready to launch, aren't we? So let's get SAS on. Just double check my staging. It's all fine. That's all fine. Fine. Right, so the plan is we are going to launch now. There's a lot of power in these, so I'm going to be turning fairly soon. We're going to aim to get to this point here, the halfway point as I call it, or 45 point, even though it's on a 90, by 10,000 meters if I can. And then the next stage is where we're going to be kind of going parallel with the ground. So let's just see how it goes. 3, 2, oh, hiccups, launch. This is, I was about to say, one I hiccuped. Right, so we got to 50 meters a second really quickly. So let's get this turn going pretty straight away. Pretty much straight away. Because we're going to get up to 10,000 meters very, very quick. Let's get this on here. I'll maneuver mode so we can see what's going on. Right, I know it's very jerky with my movements, but because I'm going so fast, I want to try and get over to this point here by now. Right, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I can cope with that. Let's continue with our turn. Right, stage. Okay, I can cope with that. Let's get this bank continuing over. And what I'm going to do is when I get to 75 kilometers, I am going to cut the engines. So we are kind of getting a lot of drag going on here, but that's totally fine. I want to try and keep the arc as flat as I possibly can. So I need to be quite aggressive with this turn. Got a lot of power, so we should be good. Coming up to 75, so let's cut the engines now. And essentially once we get, I mean, we are going to start dropping back down, but I'm just going to keep an eye on this and keep an eye on my altitude, which we can see our time to reach is 1 minute 42 seconds. When we get to about 30 seconds or so, I'm going to put the engines back on, And have a quick look at our arc. It's not too shabby. We'll see what it's like, obviously, once we completely circleize. The idea is I want to use as little fuel as possible. So we're going to get up to, like I say, probably about 73,000. When the T minus is about 30 seconds. Quick sip of my herbal tea while we're climbing. Right, we're in space. Let's get up. No, I'm not going to open my science here just yet. I'm going to wait until we get towards the moon, because it will kind of keep going off, letting me know. Right, engines on. Let's try and keep it on that line as close as we can. And we want to get our periapsis over 70,000. I'm not worried about getting a perfect circle. That is not the goal of this. This is to get ourselves to the moon. And we want to do it as fuel efficiently as we can. Let's get rid of that stage. So this is going to be probably 85, I'm guessing. 85 kilometers by the time we get our periapsis up. So far, not too bad. This is actually going to be one of my better launches as far as getting my orbit reasonable. I just want this to be over 70. Oh, didn't mean to go that way. Press the wrong button then. Let's cut my engines a second. This is climbing still, so I'm just going to climb up a little bit more. Because I'm quite far away from the apoapsis, so the further away I am, the higher this is going to go up, the longer it's going to take to get my periapsis up. So you kind of want to raise your periapsis if we just zoom out a little bit. So there's my apoapsis. I'm heading towards that. The periapsis, well, these words, the periapsis, which is at the opposite end. The closer I am to here when I start my retro burn, or prograde burn, sorry, not retro. Retro's to come back in. Prograde burn, then that'll push this out. But the further away I am, the longer it's going to take to push that, because it'll actually push in over here. So that will still go up, but it'll take longer. So essentially using more fuel. And we're in space. 2 minutes. Let's speed up time a touch. Get to about 1 minute, and then we'll think about getting ready to start our burn again. Here we go. Right, so we want to get our periapsis altitude to over 70. There we go. Right, we're in an orbit. Perfect. Quick look to see if we've got any high science we can grab. Material studies, that's all we've got here. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to plan our trip to the moon. Now, for those of you that are maybe like me, when you first start playing this game and you have no idea about real sort of rocketry and science and all that sort of stuff, and you played other spacey type games where you fly from one planet to another, gravity is actually a thing, and from playing this game I've actually started to understand how it works. What I mean by that is, obviously we are here now. The moon is rotating in this direction and we're going in the same direction, but obviously at a very, very fast speed, 2,263 meters per second to be precise. If we just scroll out to the moon, in many space games that I have played for sure, in fact all of the space games that I've played, if you want to get from A to B, you just point at it and fly there. You can't do that in this game because it's kind of realistic. And what I mean by that is the Mun is rotating around. Okay, you have got gravity on Kerbin, you have got gravity on the Mun. So if I pointed myself directly at the Mun now and started burning, well, what would happen is I would be going in a bit of an arc to it initially, because Kerbin's pulling me in that direction. It's trying to keep me going in that direction. But the Mun would have gone off in a random direction. You can't just aim at it. You have to kind of plan it. So what we can do is we can plan our route. Now, as I said before, I've got this mod, AstroGator. I just click on a button and it'll plan it for me. I'm not going to use that today. That will be used later on. I want to go back to the bare bone basics to show you how to do it, not as a tutorial, but just to show you how to do it, and show you that I know how to do it. It's just I will be in the future just using that just to basically speed up time, really. And that looks bloody beautiful, excuse the language. Right, we want to be starting to do our maneuver fairly soon, because essentially we want to do it when we're probably about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a maneuver by left clicking, add a maneuver, and then what we want to do is we want to go prograde. Let me click on this one here so I can do it on here. We want to go prograde to push this apoapsis out. Now at the moment the Mun's over here, but we're going to be aiming over here. So if I keep pulling this out, let me slow this down a touch. And at some point we'll see another line coming where we're going to intercept the Mun. Keep going out. Let me just put you up a bit, and I'm just left clicking on this until I get, there we go. So now we've got this interception. So we're going to intercept the Mun, but then we're going to come back into another orbit. So we're going out here, we're going out, we're going out. The gravity of Kerbin is making us do an arc, because we can't just go in a straight line. Gravity is trying to pull us down. We're using power to go away. We're going to be going in this arc, and then up here we will intercept the Mun. But then because we're only intercepting it and we're not actually going to orbit it, it will then put us into this green orbit, and then potentially come back into Kerbin's atmosphere. But what we want to do is we want to do an orbit around the Mun. So I'm going to left click and set focus, and we can see this is where we're going to intercept the Mun. So we're going to be going out, and then as we get near the Mun's going to grab us, and we're going to come on this arc here, and we're going to go out, and then once the Mun's too far away, we'll come back into the gravity of Kerbin and come back in this arc here. I know it sounds confusing. This is taking me so long to understand, and so many thousands of, well, not thousands, so many dozens of videos. At the moment we are 2 million meters above the Mun's atmosphere. I want to bring this down. So if I click back onto the maneuver node, and this is probably the only thing that I find really difficult. I wish there was an easy way of doing this, but if I left click on that, I can close it down completely, or I can come to here, and what I want to do is I want to move this closer to the Mun, and I'm going to aim for a high orbit. We're going to do a high orbit in this episode. In the next episode we're going to go for a low orbit and a landing if we can. So if we click these left and right, it moves it in and out, and that's all we need to do. We just need to keep moving. I don't know, I think it's 50,000. Let me just double check. Let me just pause, and I'm going to pause the record. I'm just going to do a quick Google search. Okay, so I'm on KerbalSpaceProgram.com wiki science, and the Mun high space is 60 kilometers. So below 60 kilometers will be classed as low space, I believe, if I've read this right, because I'm looking at Kerbin, which is 250 kilometers is high space, which I believe is correct. So we're going to aim for above 60 kilometers. Okay, right. So technically this is correct, but we want to get a little bit closer, so that we can. In fact, if we don't go too far, let me just play around with this. Come off this again, haven't I? So let me click back on. Nope. Yeah, I wish there was an easy way of doing this. Maybe there is, and I just don't know how. But I need to try and click on this maneuver node here, so I can then do some adjustments here. So what I'm looking at now is I'm looking at my after I come out of. In fact, no, we're just going to go for a high orbit. We're going to go for a proper orbit. I've got plenty of delta V to do it, so let's go for about. Nope, not that far. Let's bring you down and go the opposite way. 65,000. That is perfectly fine. That should be classed as high altitude or high above, high space above Mun is what I'm trying to say. So that's telling me the node is going to be in 3 minutes, and we need to burn for 1 minute and 4 seconds. So essentially we want to burn half on one side and half on the other side of this minute. So basically when we get to 30 seconds or 32 seconds from the maneuver node, which if I'm not sure how I can do this. Oh, that's the wrong button. How do I center back over here? Nope, I don't want the alarm. Cancel. Where's the alarm clock? You can go away. How do I just click on? Right, this is something I don't know how you do to go back, so I'm focused back over here. Right, anyway, I don't know. But as you can see, hopefully, oh, this is really awkward. I need to start my maneuver. Oh, I've gone past it. Have I gone past it? Yeah, I've gone past it, but I need to restart all of this. So let's restart all of that. I'll try and. Why can't I? I want to stop focusing on this, or do I just? So that's focus view on there, but how do I unfocus view on there? Escape. It's not escape. I don't want to be pressing that button. I really don't know. I actually don't know how I can take my focus back off there. I don't know. Right, let me Google search again. Aha! Right. I found the key. So it is, if I focus back on here, I can tab to other planets. I worked that one out. But if I want to go back to my original view, if I press the key that's above the tab, I'm not sure what it's called, but I press that and it brings me back to here. Okay, right, so checking, yeah, we're still in orbit, that's fine. However, we've gone past where we wanted to intercept the Mun. So I'm gonna have to orbit all the way back around again, which is a bit of a pain. So let me make a maneuver node here and we can do some adjustments. I was so close to having to actually activate that maneuver node earlier, I just went past it, and obviously we need to activate it before. So let's try that one again. Zoom out a touch now that I know what the keys are. So we're going to come up there. Oh, we want to bring you way down. And then we want to swing it over to an earlier time. Keep going, keep going. go out a touch. And then go a bit earlier. Obviously using that mod, I wouldn't have to do all of this. I could just press it once and it does it automatically. But I want to do it the, not so much the old-fashioned way, but the proper way. Or the stock way. Right, why am I not intercepting? What's going on here? Let's bring you down. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag it like this. Nope, that's not clicking on it. Why have I got two maneuver nodes here? Right, let me reset you. Reset you. I had two things going on at the same time then, and it's getting all confuzzled. So let me warp around to here. First of all, let's just get around this side of the planet, because I do know I want to be kind of on this right hand edge of Kerbal to intercept the Mun. So somewhere around about here is going to be my initial guess, and then we'll just need to do some adjustments to get it correct. Oh, there we go. There it is. I need to go a little bit further along. Cool. Right. So what I'm going to need to do now is focus view on the Mun. And I wish when you did that, it didn't get rid of that. So we need to go out. There we go. There's our interception there. So we can do that. And let's bring you closer. Let's right click on you. Cool. Right. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. My little initial mess up with my timing. Okay, right, that's looking okay. Let's bring it in a bit closer. About 65, 70, 80 even will be fine. 79. We'll go for 79. That is fine. We are at a little bit of a weird trajectory there, which I don't particularly like. And I'm not sure if I can fix that. Because the last thing I want is to be going off at some weird angle. So let me reset all of that again. Okay, let's try that one more time. Add maneuver. Spin it out. Ooh, bring you back in. Let's get back over here again. So this isn't as easy as it looks, I'll tell you that much. Right, focus view. I want to click back onto my maneuver node, which we have got. Right, and let's do some tweaks with this. Right, that looks a little bit better. It's not perfect. Oh, don't want to do that. Go back the other opposite way, please. Cool, right. Let's bring us in closer. .76, so we are above it, and that's kind of bringing us down. But you know something, I'm not too fussed. We can sort that out at another time, and that's going to end up bringing us out here. But you know something, all I want to do is I want to get here, I want to get myself into an orbit, so let's crack on with that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Nodes in 3 minutes, and I'm going to burn again 1 minute 4 seconds to get out there. So delta V of 859 meters a second, and we've got 1800. So that's going to leave us with like almost 1,000 meters, 1,000 delta V to get ourselves into an orbit and then get ourselves back to Kerbin. Plenty, absolutely plenty. Because if we remember, if we go back to our delta V map, to go from an encounter to an orbit, a low orbit as well, it's going to cost 310, and then to get back out another 310, so 620 is what we're going to need once we get here, and we're going to have almost 1,000. So we've got 2 minutes 23 seconds. Let's get back to, matter of fact, I can stay in this view. We'll speed up time until we get to a minute. Right, let's bring the speed back down. So 32 seconds is when we're going to start our burn. 32 seconds, 3, 2, 1, burn. So we're starting it before, halfway at the burn, at the node time, and then the other half to continue the other way. That's something that confused me at the beginning. I was like, this doesn't make sense, why you have to do this and the other, but after watching videos, that's what everyone does, and that's what I'm doing as well. So I'm burning now. My Apple axis, if I zoom out, is moving it in that direction, and that's causing me to come on this arc here. So that's the way, that's my trajectory. Once this is finished, I'm going to be going out like that, coming in, and then once I get to here, we'll intercept Kerbin, and that's then going to put me on this slingshot around, the Mun. It's then going to put me on this slingshot around, and I just realised I made a real bad boo-boo here. I'm not even pointing in the direction I need to be pointing. What a mong. Right, I might have completely messed that up. I needed to be pointing at the maneuver node. So all that's going to do is just add on extra delta V, which isn't great because that means I'm going to be using up more fuel. Hopefully now we will still have enough to get back. Right, we'll cut there, and then we're going to go into slow time. All I've done basically, I've just wasted fuel by pointing in the wrong direction. Right, click on you. I can pretty much get rid of you now, and we're just going to watch this now. Get you down to about 60. There we go, 67. Perfect. So I'm slingshotting around, or not slingshotting, but yeah, kind of slingshotting if you want to call it that. Kerbin's orbit is making me do this arc around, and I'm going around like that, and then I'm going to intercept Kerbin. It's going to make me slingshot around there, and then once I come out of here, it's going to put me into this arc here and send me off to wherever Kerbin escapes. So I'm actually going to be gone. So I need to be very cautious with my fuel usage because I've wasted so much fuel there. I'm not sure whether I'm going to actually get to be able to do an orbit. I might have to try and get myself back to Kerbin, because I should have had about 900 and something meters per second, and well, I just wasted a whole ton of fuel there because I wasn't pointing in the correct direction. So without further ado, let's warp ourselves to here and get ourselves into the Mun's atmosphere. So this isn't the perfect way of getting to the Mun for sure, but we're getting there. We are getting there. That's a start. Right, we should now be in the Mun's influence. So let's bring up. There we go. Right, so we are in high space in space high over the Mons Midlands at the moment. However, what I need to do now is start thinking, yes, are we going to be able to get back? So what I want to do is I want to probably plan a maneuver here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in different directions and see what happens. Oh, there we go. We've got an arc coming around. So we've got this here. This is going to put us into an orbit around Kerbin. However, it's really, really far. Oh, I might have just... So what I want to do now is play around with the... When I do this, auto save. I'm trying to get this circle to be as close to Kerbin as possible. Actually, let me just do some science while I'm here, because that's one of the reasons why I've come out here. Gather all of these bits and pieces. Mystery goo. Material study. Oh, that's a nice big chunk there. 50. We can do an EVA. Let's do an EVA. EVA report. Keep experiment. Let's collect data, and then we can store that. Then we can do we'll leave that just in case we can pick up. No, let's get it here. Let's gather everything we can while we're here, if it'll let me. There we go. Obviously I've only got 2 of these and I haven't got a science guy to reset it, but you know something, I'm not too fussed about that. Let's go back onto SES and let's see if I can get myself back to Kerbin with this very little fuel that we do have. We should, well, technically we have got enough if I do it correctly and I don't mess up like I did before. My only issue is I don't know which ones I'm pulling, so I'm going to try different ones, see what happens. Right, don't want to do it that way. Let's bring you back down. Let's try these ones. Oh, that's looking good. That's looking really good. Oh, we could be in for a winner here. If I can get that down. Nope, didn't want to press that button. I can get this. You know something, that is almost 60,000. Can I get that a little bit? Which one is this one? This one here, isn't it? I can get this to about 20, 25, 30. Brilliant. Right, well, we've sorted our route back. I've got no science to gather just yet. Node is in 1 hour and 27 minutes. So we've got plenty of time to appreciate the Mun. So essentially what we're going to be doing here is we're going to go around the Mun. We're going to get to here. That's then going to put us into this orbit, and we're going to be coming around like this, coming in here, and we're going to be nice and low. And then hopefully the gravity will be enough to keep us in and bring this apoapsis down as well, and we shall hopefully land on Kerbin. And that is going to cost me, oh look at that, 528, and I've got 589. This is cutting it a bit too fine, all because of the little error that I made at, well, I say little error, big error I made at the start. I wasted a whole lot of fuel because I was pointing in the wrong direction. So what I should have been doing is when I did that first maneuver to get myself into the mun, I should have been pointing at this blue thing, and I wasn't even looking at this. I completely forgot that I had to point here. That's what I should have been doing, like I'm doing now. So we've got that sorted. I've got an hour and 25 minutes until I'm going to start my burn. So let's speed up time a touch. We're only going to be burning for 29 seconds, so let's say 30 seconds. So we'll start our burn at 15 seconds. So it'll be 15 on one side, 14 on the other side of the node. And we're going to pray to the mun gods that we don't mess it up and end up stranded. Otherwise we're going to have to do a rescue mission, and that's something I'm definitely not trained to do. There's Kerbal there. There's the mun. We've got a no, not too much, not very much there. I'm not going to bother gathering tiny little bits. I'm going to wait until I get a big chunk that I can gather. What EVA can we? In fact, I don't even know why I'm doing that, because it actually shows up here. That's the good thing about this. I don't actually need to guess now. I know when there's something I can grab. Speed time back up again. The way this works as well is when if you're fast forwarding and you hit a new area, it will make a bleep and slow you down, so you can grab whatever you're missing. I'm just watching my time now, 47. I've still got a little bit of a while to go. We'll be on the far side of the moon, or the mun, sorry. That we're going to be doing that. So yeah, a bit different area now. Space high over the mun's lowlands. So we're going to be landing on here at some point once I get the training, I guess, to be able to do it. Right. I'm actually going to turn that off because that's just going to keep slowing me down. I'm not too worried about the science. I'll check it before we do our burn. See whether we can grab anything. What altitude are we going to be going past that? Yeah, we're still going to be high above. So I say next time we're going to we'll actually try and do an orbit, whether it's high or low. I don't know whether we're going to get a landing done in the next episode, because this is proving to be rather challenging for sure. It really is. But that's what I like about games like this. I don't like simple games. They get boring after a while, or sometimes boring very quickly. I like something that's going to really challenge my brain, get me thinking, and that's something that this is definitely doing. I can't wait until Kerbal Space Program 2 comes out. Multiplayer. Hope that I can find someone to play with, because that would be fantastic. Right, 12 minutes, 11, 10. We'll get to 2 minutes and then I'm going to slow time back down again. I don't want to miss my... let's get the time down. So basically what I'm doing is pushing myself away from the gravity of the mun until I get to a point where I'm in the gravity of Kerbin again, because obviously that's got a stronger gravitational pull than what the mun has. I want to say 15 seconds we're going to be doing the burn. Speed up time a touch. Matter of fact, let me just check for science. We've got a tiny little bit. I might as well grab it. It's not a great amount, but better than nothing, I guess. Right, keeping an eye on the time. When we get to about 40 seconds, I'm going to slow time back down again. I don't want to skip past it. I'm not going to be able to do an EVA now, because otherwise I'll end up missing the burn time and be scuppered. Right, 15 seconds, getting ready to do a burn. Make sure I'm on that blue dot or blue mark there. That's the maneuver node, so that only appears when you have got a maneuver set. And we want 15 seconds. 3, 2, 1, burn. I just thought I haven't got bloody SAS on. That could have messed things up a little bit. That's why it's drifting away. Hopefully that's okay, art. Right, let me cut engines there. Go into map view and just have a little look how we're looking. 26,000. I think we're there. No, we're not. We're looking at the wrong one. Let's carry on with our burn. Focused on this number now. And there, that will do perfectly. So this is a bit of a elliptical orbit, I think it's called. An egg shape. But we're there. We are spotty dog. Even though I kind of left them in direction I should have been pointing. Because I didn't have SAS on. Because I forgot when you do an EVA and you come back in, it turns off SAS. The stability toggle. Anyway, we can now get ourselves all the way around here. So I am going to warp myself to about here initially. We'll just zip our way all the way around. So I've left the influence of the Mun now. I'm back into the influence of Kerbin. That's going to bring me around. I'm going to close you down. Let's go a little bit faster, please. Warp to here. Right. How are we looking? We are in the atmosphere. That was pretty good going. So I'm going to aim myself down that direction to deposit that stage, because we don't need you anymore. And then I'm going to aim retrograde. That's going to burn up. Oh, you know something? I didn't collect my science from them. I forgot to do that. Oops. Oh well. We'll have to gather the Science Junior Science next time. I'll probably have a practice of doing an orbit again, and I'll gather some science high above the Mun. That's going to burn up in the atmosphere, so at least we're not leaving any debris in the in space. Right, let's turn off SAS. We don't really need that now. You can see that debris going to deposit itself down here at some point. Right, so if we have a look at our orbit now, we can see it's coming right down, and obviously we're now going to come in. So although the arc, the egg shape, was really big, the gravity slowing me down has brought that periapsis all the way down. And that's it. We've done a successful mission, albeit a little bit wonky here and there. We've done a successful mission to the Mun and back. What we've got to do now is just obviously safely land. I'm not even considering trying to aim to land at our base. That's way out of my ability levels right now. The fact that I've got to the Mun, I've gone around the Mun, gathered some science, which we needed to do. Gather scientific data from the Mun. We gathered scientific data from the Mun, didn't we? Yeah, we did. I'll see if that gets turned in. Otherwise, I might have to go back there again. Right, let's get our parachute deployed. Bring ourselves safely down to the planet in the vast open sea that we are going to be landing in, and then we will return to base, and that'll be the end of this episode. Successfully got ourselves to the Mun and back alive, which is always a bonus. So yeah, what I'm going to do over the next couple of days is get a bit more practicing, watch a couple more tutorials so I can get myself better at doing flybys to the Mun and getting an orbit to the Mun. I might have to fine tune this spaceship a little bit, gather a bit more money and science and stuff like that, and then the next episode will either be getting ourselves into an orbit around Mun, or if I'm good enough, landing on the Mun. But no, I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. Right, let's speed up time a bit, get ourselves down to the water a bit quicker. Keep forgetting about the speeding up bit when we're coming in. Just helps a little bit with saving time on the video. Okay, not sure what that's all about. Let's see if we got any science we can gather. Nope, no science, so let's book of a vessel. Right, we earned 103 science. That is just fantastic. Next, 10,000 funds from recovered parts. That's always good. Got no reputation. 2 XP. That's not really too much. Right, did I tell me that it failed? Yeah, those ones I know I failed those 3. I don't know, I cancelled that one. So, did I... I'm just checking. Explore the Mun. Yeah, I've got credit for that one. Flyby, gather scientific data, and return to Kerbin. Awesome. What have we got available here? Explore Kerbin. Rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Kerbin. Okay, we won't be doing that one just yet. Conduct observational surveys. We're not going to be doing any observation. Rescue. So these are going to be challenging ones, these rescue ones. Test launch escape system at the launch site. Well, that's simple enough to do, so we'll grab that. I can do that at some point. Test at TS-18 separator at the launch site. We can do that. Plant a flag on the moon. I keep saying moon. Sorry. Just it is. It's the moon. That's going to give me an awful lot of money. No science, so just loads of money. How many have we got active? We've got 4 active. Position satellites in equatorial orbit of Kerbin. That's going to be something that I will do once I know how to do it. I'm going to grab this because that's going to be coming up pretty soon. Cool. Right, let's go and spend some science points, shall we? Oh god, look how much money we got. That's great. Right, I'm going to grab aviation because I'm going to make myself a little vehicle for driving around, although it's technically flying, but I'm just not going to take off around the areas of the spaceport and grabbing some science. So I'm going to grab that. So that's unlocked. Now we can get one more. What have we got? Heavy rocketry, propulsion systems, advanced construction, aerodynamics, landing. That's going to give me some. Oh, we need the launch escape system for a mission, don't we? That we picked up. Landing struts, advanced flight control. That's going to be needed in the near future. Space exploration, so we can put like steps and stuff like that. That's going to be handy. Lamps and whatnot. And EVA experimental kit. That will come in handy. Docking bits and pieces. Right, we can't unlock any of them, so I'm going to get this one here. That's going to unlock the launch escape system, which we have a mission for. I don't know why it's giving me a mission for something that I can't actually do, but maybe that's how the game works. Double check, nothing else. Oh, this one is the separator. Oh dear, what do we do here? That one's going to be easier to... Let me have a look, actually, on... That's going to give me 4,501 science. 4,701 science. Let's go for that. That's just going to... It's only a tiny little bit more money, but that one's going to be really easy to do. I don't know how the launch escape system works just yet. Oh. So... We'll come back to that, although don't need anything from there just yet. Landing. We're not going to land on... You know, so, right, this is what I'm going to do. Sorry, I'm kind of going on a little bit here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to unlock this. We're going to do... Or I'm going to do another fly by the Mun. But I'm going to do it at potentially low space. Gather some science, gather some extra science points, so I can also then unlock landing. And then once I've got these bits here, the landing struts, we can then go for a landing on the Mun. So next episode that I do with you guys is going to be a landing on the Mun, but I'm going to do some orbits, get some money in, get some science in, get some practice in, and then the next episode we're going to go for a landing on the Mun, because I'm going to have to do an orbit to land anyway, so you're going to kind of see both of them at the same time. It's pointless me doing an episode of me orbiting the Mun and then do another episode of me orbiting the Mun and then landing on the Mun. So I can kind of kill two birds with one stone in the video, but get some practice separately. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me... What did I say I was unlocking? This one here. Research you. So I can do that mission. Right, do I want to unlock anything? Research and development. If we unlock this, we can get higher... what do we call it? We can unlock this level here, so we can get better stuff in there. But also, we can collect surface samples, so we can get a bit of extra science points. Resource transfers available. I'm not sure what that's about. So let's upgrade you. Got plenty of money to do it. And the other thing I wanted to look at is this. Unpaid. I don't know which ones are these. Right. Take 5% reputation gains. Yields 1 science per each. 2.5. I'm not really worried about the reputation points. I'm not really doing anything with it, so it would make sense. So I don't want to use the money, so it would make sense for to take the 5% reputation gains to gain 1 science, and I can even increase this to 25%. Let's do that. 25%. There we go. Accept strategy. Yes. So that'll give us a little bit extra science. Not a great amount, but it'll help. And as some places say, every little helps. So we now have got this row unlocked. And then the next one's going to be these ones here. So we've got loads of cool stuff going to be getting unlocked soon. Right. Well, guys, I'm going to call it an end of an episode. I think that's been a successful a little over an hour. I was hoping it's going to be a little bit less than that, but I like to waffle on, apparently. So I am going to... Oh, what have we got here? Oh, we can recover these. Cool. Let's recover you. And recover you. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm going to call it an end of an episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, please. It would be greatly appreciated. And obviously hit the notification bell so you know when new videos come out. Next episode we will be landing on the Mun. But I will be getting plenty of practicing prior to that, and hopefully successfully do it on the recording. So stay safe everyone, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.